This athlete couldn't finish a 5K without doubling over in pain. And then within 4 weeks, he was back to training. Let's get into it. 4 weeks. That's how long it took for. I don't know if I'm going to be able to run again to finishing a 10K pain free. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did because the protocol is repeatable. And if you're a runner dealing with pain, especially back pain, this might be exactly what you need to hear. I'm Clarissa, an integrative health and movement coach, and I help people with pain-free performance. Today, I'm going to share about one of my clients who's a runner that I work with. Picture a person in their 30s, active, running consistently for 2 years, no serious injury history, and then just start noticing this dull, aching pain in the left side of your lower back at around your third mile. Started taking more rest. The ache started showing up on non-run days too. Tired, stretching, foam rolling, all of the things. Even a few YouTube routines, and just nothing stuck. And by the time they found me, they were worried, feeling their running identity was threatened. And here's what we found: a weak glute med muscle on the left side. And when they ran, their left hip dropped, and the lower back on the same side was taking a hit and absorbing it. That lateral force, overactive hip flexors, years of running without counterbalancing hip extension work had created a forward tilt in the pelvis. The lumbar spine was chronically compressed, almost no thoracic rotation. The mid back was locked. So all of the rotational demand of running was transferring directly to the lumbar spine. A few issues, okay? So we paused running for 5 days, not because it's bad, but because we needed to interrupt the pain cycle and rebuild the foundation without the load of running on top of it. A daily practice of 15 to 20 minutes. In the beginning was 15, and then we just added on a little bit with some deep core activation, pelvic floor engagement, diaphragmatic breathing. The goal was to wake up the deep stabilizers and to reduce the nervous system threat around the lower back. And by day 4, the constant ache had reduced to about 60%. Next, on week 2, we increased the running to about 50%. Easy pace, shorter distances, easing in there, right? We added some glute focus work every single day. Some of the things we did: some sidelined clamshells with a resistance band, right, to give you a little extra. And believe me, even if you don't have resistant bands, those clamshells will work, okay? They will work. They feel really good. Single leg glute bridges with a 3-second hold, right? Lateral band walks. They're not super glamorous. This isn't Instagram. This is putting in the work, okay? Getting it done to help your body perform better. And this is what we're going to do. So then we started hip hinging with the reformer. And if you don't have reformer, you still can do these glute bridges. You don't have to have it. It just adds a little extra something, but it's not required. So there's lots of apparatuses we have as a Pilates instructor. And the mat is the OG, okay? You can still have all the things. But so we did use the reformer. We did some hip hinges on there, just helping to train the posterior chain, okay? And that actually helps absorb the load through the hips rather than defaulting to the back. By week 3, we added in some rotation work, right? Hey, get that thoracic side. Remember we talked about being stuck? Because when you're running, you see how your spine and your core and your thoracic region all moves, right? There's a fluidity in your stride. It's beautiful. There is. So by week 3, we started adding in that thoracic rotation work, some seated rotation on the floor. You could do some sideline work if you do have access to a Pilates chair, just some different rotation sequences, right? And so the mid back starts moving, helping get that back stronger, really those stabilizers and just building that strength. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the stretching, remember? So about 75% running volume by about week 3, no pain during the runs. And some of that post-run stiffness dissolved rather quickly in about an hour or so. So much progress in only a few weeks. It is amazing how our body can adapt. And by the 4th week, full running volume. On week 4, longer runs, did a 7-mile run. Just as a little test to see how he's feeling. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah. And then the maintenance session settled into about 20 minutes. So we didn't even start with the 20 minutes. There were some 15-minute days in the beginning, maybe like the first week or so, and then feeling more resilient in your body, adding on those extra 5 minutes, 3 days a week. You have to love it. You do. Hip work, core work, thoracic mobility. Okay. a running sequence. Also, an 8-minute warm up is wonderful, right? That we had added in there. And then by the end of that, those 4 weeks, just that decrease in pain, right? Just being pain free. That's one of the most wonderful things, right? Whether you are running, you're golfing, or you just are going for your walk with your family, just being able to move your body in a way where there's no pain, it feels so good. It just does. It feels so good. And our body, without our health in our body, what do we have? It's so important. And it wasn't magic, right? We just took some certain steps. First, we addressed the problem, not the symptom, and then got to the root cause. Okay. Hip instability, hip flexor dominance, thoracic restriction. And then once you tackle that, right? Everything's just falling into place. Everything makes sense. Next, the load management was intentional. We didn't just rest and hope. We added intensity with a purpose. We didn't just throw it to the wind, using each week to build a layer of capacity. And listen, third, the maintenance practice is a non-negotiable. This is a lifestyle. This is part of your cross training. This is part of your lifestyle. Whether you're going for a walk, whether you're hitting your next 5K marathon, okay? Maintenance, performance. And don't think about it as rehab. It's just performance prep, longevity in what you love. And that mindset still matters. And if this story sounds familiar, you're a runner or you just enjoy being active and your back pain keeps coming back, stretching isn't fixing it, here's where to start. Watch my 10-minute back pain routine in the playlist if you missed that, or just do it again, right? This week one is a simplified form. And I also want you to go ahead and download my Activebody's blueprint. And if you're ready to work through this structure, there is a wait list for the 4-week back and hip reset. It's going to be amazing. So I'm taking what I do with my clients, making an online program so you can have it and you can do it. So go ahead and add your name to that wait list. Look, you do not have to choose between running and pain, tennis and pain, spending time with your loved ones, and just living your life, picking up your kids, picking up your grandkids. All of this is a factor. You don't have to choose, okay? You just need the right protocol.